Hi, this is my weekly report from Bruce in Bakung. If you didn't already know that, you're probably on the wrong channel. This is really meant to keep friends and family updated with what I'm doing during my retirement here. I finally got my nuts and bolts to put this second pressure tank shelf together. I went with 5mm by 60mm long. Should have gone with 65. It was just barely long enough. Should have measured. I've got these two pieces stuck together, these two pieces stuck together, the verticals attached. Got to put the diagonals on the ends first, and then once I've got those, then I'll put the shelves on. Shelf rails. Gave myself a bit of a problem here in that this diagonal is fine because that bolt there fits into that gap, but on this side that bolt head there coincides with this section here, so I might just cut a piece out there, I think, somehow, and if I do it that way, either that or drill another hole back here further and remove that one. I'll think about that later, but at the moment I'm in meltdown. So let's see just how meltdown it is. Outside's 33 degrees and 63% humidity. In here it's 30 degrees and 73% humidity. Yeah, I think melting now is fair enough. I'm going to head back to the lounge room. Asra's got a couple of mechanics over in the shed at the moment working on resurrecting the compact track loader. They've been over there for a few hours at this point, going through the electrics. I was over there until about half an hour ago, but I was absolutely saturated. It was kind of helpful me being there in order, when they wanted things, I could say, oh yeah, got one of those, and I'd go and dig it out of the pile where it wasn't obvious, or out of my supplies. But I got limited duration over there, so hopefully Asra can help them now. He's turned up, he's the one on the far right. Yeah, well, I had even less language in common with these guys than I do with Asra, so that was challenging in itself. But they seem to know what they're about. The fact that he's using masking tape indicates that it would be helpful if I could produce insulating tape, but I don't think I have much of any of that. Well, I got this mostly done. And these guys, I think it boils down to interlock sensors have corroded. So I think the recommendation at this point is get in contact with Indo-Tyre, one of the suppliers, to get one of their technicians out to look at it, which is my original plan. Meanwhile, I had the pump running, pumping out the service pit. That's down about 30 centimetres. It's only got about 60 centimetres to go, so I might just give it a rest. Well, came out of the shed and had a good session and got this thing finished. So I can let Asra know, and at his leisure he can go and install it at the shed, I guess. Not the shed, Bendi's house, because that's what it was for. It's Thursday morning. I've been having ongoing issues with this off-grid system at the house. I will get email alerts saying that the battery voltage is low, and then sometime later when it goes a little bit lower, the system will glitch, and what that means is the selectronic there says, oh, no good, I've got to do a reset. So it switches the house power across to coming from the alternate supply, which is coming across from the shed. So that means the lights in the house. Well, everything goes off for a second, and then it comes back on, being supplied from the shed. Then after that's done its reset, it imports power from the shed until the battery state of charge is high enough again that it says yeah, it's okay. At which point I'll get another email message saying the condition is cleared. And this continues until the state of charge goes low enough again, and the system reports battery voltage is low and repeats. Now, it's not supposed to do that. What's supposed to happen is when the state of charge gets down to 25%, it starts importing from the shed. No glitches, no power outages. But it was doing that in the low 40% state of charge. It was doing the glitch. So the other day I came out, and for each battery in turn, these are the 10 battery modules here, I turned off the breaker, unplugged the leads, turned the breaker back on, checked the voltage, turned the breaker back off, plugged the leads back in, turned the breaker back on. And I did that for each one in the sequence, and 9 out of the 10 were in the range of 51.7 to 51.9 volts. The thing was only at around 50% state of charge at the time. The one that you currently see unplugged there, that was at 4.01 volts. So that module is obviously faulty. So Lutfi, the tech at Solar Power Indonesia, has connected remotely into this unit and told it it's got 36 kilowatt hours of storage instead of 40 kilowatt hours. And over at the shed there are 6 of these battery modules, they're the same, and what I've done is waited until they're fully charged up and turned one off and disconnected it, and when I can get some muscle from Asra and Dadang, we'll take this one out and slide in the one from the shed. So Lutfi's also told the shed that it's got 20 kilowatt hours of storage instead of 24 kilowatt hours. And when we've put that substitute unit in here, we'll bring this one back up to being 40 kilowatt hours. But this has not resolved the glitch issue. The glitch issue just happens at a lower state of charge now, in the mid 30%. So, well, that's definitely a problem, that battery module. It may not be the entire problem. Part of my issue currently is the fact that running AC is expensive, and my stepdaughter Lizu doesn't like how expensive it is, so she's a bit behind on paying the electricity bill, which means that electricity meter is shut off, and consequently the automatic transfer switch has switched their house over to running off my off-grid system, so my load's higher than normal. I was managing it so as to not get the glitch overnight, but now it's inevitable. And this is a separate power meter that's been installed for their AC to connect into. I don't quite know why that hasn't been done, but the idea is that that will not be backed up from the house, and or from my house. So that means then that they can have their AC on that meter, and if they don't pay that bill, it's just the AC that goes off. The fridge and everything keeps going, and if the public network, district network goes off, their fridge will be backed up from our house. I can handle that amount of power drain, but at the moment it's, yeah, a bit of an issue. And here we are down at the back of the rice factory, all systems running. As you can see, it's blowing a lot of husks out there, building this pile again, and polishing rice on the rice polisher. So we have rice drying out here. That rightmost row over there is where we haven't concreted yet. I'm sure that'll be coming in the near future. Well, this is looking interesting. So they've got their bearing blocks in place and they're fully. They're just going to assemble a belt that fits properly. They might need tension up. Interesting coupling there. 4 pieces of belt that have been bolted on to provide a flexible coupling. And the water here is interesting because we have the water which is connected to that tank through the wall, which goes around there, feeds through the water pump and then gets blasted back into the tank through here. Not quite sure what that will do for engine temperature because it won't be running at the higher temperatures than it would with a pressurised water radiator. Well, not my area of expertise. And we do have a return line on the fuel supply now. I would have thought that they could just plumb that back into the input side. The fact that they put a gate on this doorway here kind of implies that they would need one over the top of the wall here as well. I don't think anybody's going to try and steal that engine out of there and just be too dirty. And there's obviously something that's planned for this. Whether that's a separate water supply or not, I don't know. So down at the rice factory, we've got plenty of rice drying. And the workers are having a break at the moment. Not quite sure what Jhoni's fabricating here. It looks like it's almost like a tube boiler thing that he's making. So I wonder. Lots of tubes. Okay. I have no understanding of what's going on here, but that thing I was just looking at kind of looks like it's sized to sit here. This is one of the ubiquitous cats around here. Well, they don't all have the stunted tails, but a large proportion of them do. Must have been something genetically beneficial about the bloodline that led to the stunted or deformed tails, because they really are common, but they're not a healthy looking lot. They don't trust me much because when they get on Divider's front porch, I tend to go after them with a water pistol to encourage them to move on, because they're not well house trained, you might say. She doesn't like finding deposits on her tiles. But anyway, that's enough video for this week. I think I'll wrap it up and upload a video.